Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I think you all know that expression, the caravan passing through, the dogs keep barking, or the other way around. The dogs are barking and the caravan keeps going its way. So this is kind of what's happening with the second club, which is Russia and China mainly. And then you got United States and the other ones barking. So the first club is formed. The United States is the big boss, as I said many times, and now it seems like a second club is forming, all on the BRICS structure. The BRICS are those countries that got together in an economic organization, where it's Brazil, South Africa, India, China, and Russia. Now, this is a special bloc of countries that accept others as well. And Iran applied, I think Argentina applied, I think Morocco applied, or I think so. Morocco? One of those, Morocco or Algeria, one of these two. I always, unfortunately, I can't remember which one. And then you have other contenders who want to join BRICS. Now, BRICS wants to be an economic alternative to other Western organizations, and they want to drop the US dollar from their transactions, from financial transactions among the BRICS countries and whomever is still around in their little sphere of influence, and that is bad news for the Americans. So let's go to this article and see what's going on. This article comes from Sputnik, and it is from today, the 24th of January 2023. Lavrov says that BRICS is working to boost payments in national currencies as dollar unreliable. That's not good news for the dollar, for the petrodollar. A few days ago, Saudi Arabia said that it will diversify its sales of oil, not only using the dollar, but other currencies as well. And I'm assuming the yuan, I think, is one of them, because Xi Jinping visited Riyadh a few days ago, or a few weeks ago, and they discussed about some investments, some deals, about $16 billion or something, bilateral, economic. Anyway, it's, again, petrodollar is under attack. Other countries are dropping their, including India, is dropping the dollar in buying Russian oil, and China, they do it in rupees, rubles, yuan, and so on. That's not good news for the petrodollar, because the petrodollar is going to lose influence little by little in time, and that means the United States has to start produce things, because the dollar will not be just global reserve currency. But we'll see. That will take time, years. They said about, I don't know, 10, 15 years if they continue with the trend. So here we have Lavrov pushing for this, and we have BRICS countries are actively working on increasing payments in the national currencies in mutual trade and financial operations due to the unreliability of the dollar, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said on Tuesday. Remember that the president of Brazil met, I think, the president of Argentina, and they talk about creating a common currency called SUR, or I don't know exactly that's how you pronounce it, but it's SUR. SUR means south, I think. And they said, for the same reason, to lessen their reliance on the US dollar. That's, again, not good news. I heard Venezuela would like to participate in the same business together with Brazil and Argentina. Well, that would probably trigger some quick regime changes over there. I hope not, but some economists claim that that's impossible. The South Americans can't do that. Why? Because they're a little bit or something. I think they will succeed. I'm not rooting for them in any way, but if they want that to be achieved, that's their destiny. They should be allowed to build their destiny, to follow their little stars that they might have, without the outside interference. But hey, you know how things are ran. I'm stronger than you. I'm going to punch you in the face and I'm going to take whatever I want from you. And you can't do that, because if you try to do that, I will call that illegal. All right, let's keep going with this article here. Now, and I'm quoting Mr. Lavrov, the share of national currencies in settlements between the BRICS countries is already rapidly growing. The BRICS countries have initiatives that address the need to work on the creation of their own currency. The reason is very simple. We cannot rely on mechanisms which are in the hands of those who can cheat at any time and refuse to fulfill their obligations, Lavrov said following his talks with Eswatini Foreign Minister Thuli Dladla. Lavrov was referring to the Western sanctions and what they did to the Russian banks, kicking them out of the SWIFT, and then the Western mechanism of banking payments system, and as well as freezing assets, Russian assets. That means your property is not in any way protected by anything, since you're a bad dude, and therefore they can do whatever they want. So given that, Lavrov makes the case of, you guys, you can't rely on those guys anymore, because at any point when you don't do what they want you to do, they will hurt you economically. We know, I told you many times what are the tools in the United States' diplomacy toolbox. Therefore, they forgot about, negotiation, intelligence, knowledge, and, big area of expertise in dealing with someone else. No, they forgot about that. Why? Because they were left alone in the neighborhood and they used this everywhere else. So everybody was like, damn, this guy is here. Like the lion. The lion does not negotiate, just shows up and takes over. So even if the hyenas or the lionesses made a kill, when the lion shows up, everybody else backs off. So the same, it doesn't have to negotiate. That's how the United States behaved from 1991 until now. So you can't have only 4 tools nowadays, which is threats, blackmail, regime change, and straight military intervention. These are the 4 tools that the lion uses nowadays. First, roars around. Second, attacks you with the claws. The third one, he just runs after you, and the fourth one catches you and kills you. So Lavrov says, I'm sorry, I will not rely on this kind of behavior coming from those guys, and that would be applied to you, when they choose. We are an alternative. Let's get together, because we're not as strong. They are also a group. We're going to form a different group. So that's how it works. Let's see what else Lavrov has to say here. All right, in June, Russian President Vladimir Putin told the BRICS Business Forum that the 5 major emerging economies within the group, the ones I mentioned, Russia, China, Brazil, India, and South Africa, should establish an international reserve system based on a basket of BRICS currencies. Although it may take years for the group to create the monetary system, the final result is likely to be an equilibrium between the competing Western dollar-based system and the BRICS currency basket. BRICS is an informal association of several of the world's largest developing economies, which was formed in 2006 to enhance cooperation between these nations and adopt a common approach to global economic challenges. So that means they try to protect themselves from, I guess, whom? I wonder. Anyway, so that's not good news for the petrodollar, and they know it. The problem is, it seems like United States, fortunate or unfortunately, depending on what side you might be on, it's too busy with Ukraine. So for them, destroying or taking care of the big price, which is Russia, is the main thing. Because if Russia falls, BRIC falls. China is next. So they don't focus right now. They are busy focusing on Russia, and they're not busy on Brazil, and they're going to take care of the little fish, according to the United States, after they fry this big fish. And if they succeed in frying Russia, then it's all done. Game over. Game over. China is next, and China is going to be really alone. And China has different kind of weapons, which is economic weapons. Remember, they manufacture a lot of stuff, including medical stuff, like, for instance, antibiotics. So what are you going to do? By the time you restart your factories here in the United States, a lot of people will, kick the bucket. So, yeah, they will work on kicking the dollar out of their systems because of its unreliability due to a clear example now. And this is the 101 example. You don't have to look into it and understand it. It's clear in your face. It's no way around it. You have to protect yourself somehow. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.